Hi, it's mystery author Ellie Alexander, and it is time for another 5 Things Friday. This week, I am diving into a grab bag of your questions. So stay tuned, and I will be answering 5 reader questions. I hope you're enjoying this first week of May. Spring is in beautiful bloom here in Ashland, Oregon, and I am constantly stopping to smell the lilacs. This week for 5 Things Friday, I went to my email archives and pulled out a random assortment of 5 reader questions. It's a reader question grab bag. So I'm answering 5 of your questions. Maybe one of them is something that you've sent me. Let's get right to it. Here we go. Question number 1. This comes from Caitlin. She asks, could you please at some point share a map or an illustration of the bakery layout for Tort and a map of Ashland in one of your books? Great suggestion, Caitlin. The problem is I am not an artist. I am more than artistically challenged. In fact, whenever I go to sketch out a new book, I do it all in pencil, and half the time when I go back to read my notes, I can't read my own handwriting. But I do love the idea of sharing a map of Ashland and a map, of course, of Tort in a future book or maybe online. I am going to have to recruit one of my design team members, aka my husband or son, who are way more artistically talented than I am, and see if they can take what's up here in my head and get it down on to some sort of visual for you. Ashland in general is obviously a real place, like we've talked about many times, but I have moved some things around, so I think it'd be fun to show you what my version of Ashland looks like. And of course, for faithful readers of the BAKESHOP series, you know that Tort has continually been expanding. So now there are multiple levels of baking goodness to share. All right, number 2, here's another BAKESHOP question. This comes from Judy. Judy asks, will the BAKESHOP mysteries ever become a real staged play at OSF? Oh my gosh, Judy, don't I wish? We can all dream, right? How amazing would it be to have someone actually turn the mysteries into a staged production at OSF? For those of you who aren't familiar with OSF, that is slang for the Oregon Shakespeare Festival, which is featured prominently throughout the series. I would love to see Jules and Lance on the stage. So if you know how to make that happen, Judy, let me know and we'll get right to it. All right, moving on to number 3. This comes from Merlene. Merlene asks, will there be any new books in the Meg series? Oh, the short answer to that question is not right away. I have 5 books in my Pacific Northwest mystery series featuring a very bumbling young protagonist, Meg Reed, who thinks that she's an intrepid adventurer and a true investigative reporter, but in reality, she's a total klutz and loves all things pink and delicious mochas full of whipped cream. I ended that series at book 5 with a book titled In Cave Danger, but I left it open-ended. Sort of the subplot that runs through the first 5 books in the series follows Meg's search for what has happened to her father, Pops, who we learn is killed in book 1. And I'm not giving away any spoilers if you haven't read the series, you learn that right away. So the arc that I took Meg on in the search for what happened to her father wraps up with book 5. However, Meg is young, she's in her early 20s, she's just starting out in life, she's making tons of mistakes, as we all do in our 20s, I think. And at some point in time, I would love to bring Meg back. In my head, I've thought maybe she would come back after she's gone off for a few of her adventures, and she's in her late 20s or early 30s, so I'm not sure when that's going to happen, but stay tuned. At some point, there will definitely be more Meg. Okay, moving on to question number 4. This comes from Claudia, a middle school student. I love it when students email me. Believe it or not, I get lots of email requests from students asking if I will do an interview for a school assignment, and I always say yes. And I love reading what kind of questions our kiddos come up with. So thanks for including me in your school project, Claudia. And Claudia asked, do you think you will write books for the rest of your life? I hope so. I don't know. We'll see where my journey takes me, but I love getting to write and share stories with you, with readers. I have way too many ideas and characters and plots constantly tapping and taking up space in my head, so I don't see any sign of slowing down in the foreseeable future. And the beautiful thing about writing as a career is you can really do it long past when other careers might be sort of a traditional retirement age. I know many writers who I love and admire who are still churning out books in their 80s. So yay to that. P.D. James comes to mind. She wrote Death Comes to Pemberley like, I think she was 85, something like that. You'll correct me because I'm sure one of you knows, but I would love to be writing books for the rest of my life. So yes to that. Last but not least, question number 5 comes from Riley. Riley asks, would you ever consider writing something that is not a mystery? This kind of tag teams to Claudia's question about, will I continue to write for the rest of my life? Absolutely. I have quite a few story ideas and plot points that are taking up space on my whiteboard, just mainly to get them out of my head. There's nothing at this particular moment in time that I'm working on that's not a mystery, because at this moment in time, I am deep in the middle of book number 4 of the Sloane Krause mysteries, and I'm very excited about where that plot is taking me. But yes, at some point in time, I would love to write something else. I have some ideas for a spy thriller, for something that's a little bit historical, for something that is maybe a little more modern. I also love sci-fi, so at some point in time, I would love to dip my toe. Who knows if I would actually even publish them, but I would love to challenge myself and write something that is out of the traditional mystery genre. I'll keep you posted if I try it. All right, well, that was a quick and easy 5 reader questions for this edition of 5 Things Friday. I absolutely jump with joy every time my email dings with a new message from a reader with a question like this, or just thanking me for writing books or sharing your thoughts and recipes and everything. I just love that books are such a point of connection and that I get to share Fridays with you. As always, please subscribe to my channel and click the bell to get notified whenever I share new videos. Comment below if you have other questions for me, because I try to do a reader question edition every, few months it seems like. And have a great weekend. Happy reading.